Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody, and thanks to INSTO for this opportunity. I would like probably to have a mix between the facts and the numbers. So we have in my presentation a good example about that. We have the opportunity to make real all guidelines and all studies that you saw before. And Slava, as a teacher, is very well connected with the KPIs and actions that we are putting in place. That's the goal of my presentation, is to see that one familiar company is owned by the second and third generation with 15 hotels in the island of Mallorca is able to understand probably since 25 years ago what is the importance of sustainability, circularity, and obviously to establish guidelines and internal procedures in order to enhance this kind of practice. And garden, the example of garden is very important because we are mapping the road for the big companies as Meliá, Iberostar, Barceló, and worldwide companies, because we are heading and we are achieving milestones that we are the unique around the world. So the opportunity to stay together in Mallorca and to share with you what is this kind of internal procedures would be very important. Obviously, in our philosophy, as I explained in this slide that you are watching now, we have a very good connection and contract with the stakeholders, with the society of Mallorca. You know that the island is a very slim ecosystem, and we need to preserve, obviously, the nature, the people, and the traditions. In our case, we have receiving in a usual year more than 12 million of tourism people in an island that probably it's able to concentrate as a regular time no more than 1 million people living. So imagine how to compare 1 million with 12 or 30 million people getting inside, consuming resources, and what is the how to equilibrate this sense between the local inhabitants with the visitants in order to be attractive in a worldwide tourism destination competition. This is our will. Is probably beyond that the traditional one with recycle, reuse, and repair. We include the idea of sharing, optimize, creating loops for these habitants, create a virtualized experience, exchange with agricultures, with farms, and try to regenerate and give again to the society that benefits that we are producing thanks to them. So in the next slide. This is the actions. There are 4 angles. We are not talking only about food waste and recycle and measures. We start with 0 kilometers food, because we have established one of the most important agreements with the local producers. We are consuming more than 95 tons per year of fruits and vegetables that are serving from the farms and from the agricultures directly to the hotels. So this is probably a first step, as Slava said before, to reduce the consumption and to reduce the waste, because we are very close to the producers, so we are able to establish a just-in-time procedures in order to generate the demands and to attend the buffets and our restaurants in the hotels. So we have a very good network of people that we are assuming that we have a very good prices. We are buying them a high quantity of fruits and vegetables. So we are maintaining the economic activity, and we are doing more sustainable the island of Mallorca. Next, the second angle that we can see in this period of garden hotel is with the lamb, with farmers. You can move another slide ahead. Next one. Okay, this is a very interesting reality. The lamb is one of the most popular dishes in our menus, in the buffets and in a la carte menus. And in the past, we are organizing all purchasing activities from New Zealand to Mallorca. So imagine in terms of how to prepare the action to buy huge quantities of kilograms of lamb and transport this lamb to Mallorca, to our warehouses, and then distribute throughout the hotels. In this case, it has been the same. We have signed an agreement 3 years before with a local producer. We are consuming more than 20 tons per year. We are modifying the menus. We are modifying the internal processes in the kitchen. We are explaining our customers what is the advantage to consume local product versus international ones. And obviously, in terms of the waste that we are producing is less than the traditional frozen lamb coming from New Zealand. And we are, again, applying just-in-time procedures and just-in-time KPIs in order to issue orders from the kitchen, from the hotel to these people to reduce the probably the waste and the items that we produce with this order. The next angle is the plastic, which is very regular, and I pass quickly because you can move to the next slide. This is probably a measure related with the environmental issues we are trying to reduce along the journey from the beginning when you arrive to a hotel till you leave the door. Avoid to remove all kind of plastic and substitute by organic materials, wood or cereals in the case of the plastic bags. So we are moving in the same direction that the two first angles, and we are achieving 100% hotels free of plastic, okay? And not only 1 or 2 hotels for a flagship, we are moving this movement along the whole hotel chain. And the last one, which is very important to understand the philosophy that we are putting in this meeting. You can move one slide forward, please. This is the compost. For me, this slide is very significant. And again, we are moving from the worst to the fat. We are the unique company. My promise is that around the world that we are able to build our own compost factory. Our core business is the hospitality business, but to complete our agreement with the society, we are able to develop our own internal factory to make compost. We have one contract with one of the most important professionals around Europe in order to obtain the better quality of compost, because you have several degrees. And we are installed in all the loop that you are seeing in this presentation, from the activity of purchase, and then how the food goes to the kitchen and then goes to this compost plant in order to produce the more compost that we have and the more quality that we want. We are generating in the last year probably around 1,500 kilograms of compost, and we are serving not only for garden hotels, because we are open to other companies out of the hospitality sector, and we are open our doors for the public authorities in order to mix vegetable resources with food waste resources. So this is very important experience in Mallorca. We would like to develop more with internal KPIs, because we are using IoT technology in order to identify what is the real consumption, or for example, food waste containers that measure every gram and every kilogram that you are processing in the kitchen, because we are using IA, we are using BI, and we are using these in our computers with the board of directors. They have a blackboard, and they have a good system to control in real time what we are doing during the peak season in our hotels. to complete this wheel that you are watching. As the professor Slava said, we are developed with INOR, which is probably one of the largest quality companies in order to verify that your internal process could be audited by one external company. We have been probably the first hospitality company in Spain, Europe, or probably the world to make an audit about this process of compost. So we are identified, which is the key milestones of these 6 actions that compose the wheel. And we have an external audit to verify that every process is according to the measures that we have established to obtain compost, quality compost, and then this compost return to the farms and return to the agricultures, the producer of vegetables and fruit that we are working with them. So we can move to the last, please. Again, and this is the RAM. You know that in the last 3-4 years, everybody talk about sustainability and talk about circularity. We started in the 90s, probably 25 or more years ago, with a local philosophy supporting the farmers, and we are moving then with the LAM. We are receiving a lot of awards and considerations for public and private authorities. And now we are involved since 2021 with this private compost factory in order to show the rest of the society, the rest of the company, as we told before in the previous session to prepare this webinar, that if a garden is able to do, everybody is able to do around the world. So that's the best example that probably we could use throughout the United World Tourism Organization in order to demonstrate destinations, big, medium, and small size hospitality companies that we can probably do an effort for achieve a circularity program in the hospitality business and in the complementary business that are surrounded the tourism activity. So that's my goal in the webinar today, is to show very briefly that we are doing real, and we use technology, we use people, philosophy, because that's very important that the philosophy goes from the CEO and the president of the company to the last worker in the chain, and we are very proud about the movement that we are leading. So it's been a pleasure to share with you this experience, and I would like to meet you in Mallorca in order to give more KPIs, more data about how we are leading and how we are doing. So thank you to the organization to invite me to this conference.